Hi, this is going to be a quick overview of Kiali and how it can help you manage your Istio service mesh. So the first screen we are presented with after login is the overview screen, which is essentially all of our namespaces and their health status. So if we hover over the icon here, we can see our healthy applications. And if there was any unhealthy ones, those would show in red. In the expanded view, we can see our traffic, which is our requests per second, over time. And then we can actually delve into these various applications. So let's go ahead and delve into book info. And we get a graphical view of how all the services and applications are interacting. So we see here we have the Ingress Gateway, which is in a different namespace. It's probably time to pull up the legend. So in our legend here, we can see that the icon here is an external namespace. So we know that it's not within this namespace, and if we were to double click on that, we could go over to that namespace. This is the standard example. I'm going to go ahead and show you. So here's some TCP traffic, HTTP traffic. We can see our various versions. Let's simplify this for this example. Let's just go to the app graph without the versions. So without the versions, we can see we have our gateway, which leads to our product page, details, reviews, ratings, and MongoDB. In this example, you can see this is depicted differently, which is TCP traffic versus HTTP traffic. Now, if we wanted to see the request per second, we can actually do that on the edges. And now we have edges with request per second. The percentage. So here we have a 50-50 split set up on the product page for reviews and details. And the response time. So here we have 58 milliseconds, 5 milliseconds, 49 milliseconds, 227 milliseconds. Also, we can see on the sidebar over here, we can look at additional traffic. We'll show you some examples of that later. I'm going to add now the traffic animation, so we can actually see traffic flowing through the system. This is not so interesting because this particular example, everything is going fine, but we can see that TCP traffic animates a little bit differently than HTTP traffic. If we want to see unused nodes, we can. So here's the traffic generator. And if we want to highlight nodes or remove nodes from being shown in the graph, we can. So let's go ahead and highlight a node. Let's go ahead and highlight the product page node. Name. Name contains product page. And we can see those nodes have been highlighted. If we did not want to see the MongoDB stuff, we can also hide that. And now we do not see the MongoDB stuff. So this can be very useful on large meshes. Let's go back to the app graph and let's remove these filters, or excuse me, highlighting. Now let's take a look at the service graph view. So here's our service graph view. It just shows our services. If we want to show a workload graph, we also have that. I'm going to go back to the original versioned app graph view now, which we showed the services and the app with its various versions. We can also see things are decorated with various icons. Let's go back to the legend, and we can see that. What does this mean? This is a. If we want to see some of the additional symbols, we can add some more namespaces. So going up to namespace control, here we can add the Istio namespace control in. And if we zoom in, we can see that we are providing data to the Istio telemetry, which has the circuit breaker installed. We can also see here that we have the missing sidecar icon. So this might be a good time to explore the listing views. So we have 3 listing views, and we just saw the Kiali traffic generator, which has a missing sidecar, which is fine. We have the workloads listing view, shows our workloads and our table validations, our services, and the Istio config, which is our Istio specific objects. So our gateways, virtual services, and destination rules, and all of our other types. So if we click here, we can see all the different types we have here. So when we click on that particular application, we can see there's a missing sidecar that's expected. But one of the interesting things is we do have validation warnings. So we can see that there's a couple of validation warnings here. Kiali traffic generator, the pod has no sidecar and it has no version label, which is to be expected for this, but it is a warning, and nonetheless this helps us solve some other issues with configuration setup. So from the Istio config listing page, we can jump directly into the detail pages. So let's go ahead and click on the ratings destination rule, say here. And so we can actually look at the YAML if we want for these. And go directly in and edit the YAML. And there's validations and stuff on this. I'm not going to go through all that right now. Let's go back. So if we look at our virtual services, here we have a virtual service weighted routing setup, and we can visually see the 90% and 10%. So 90% is going to subset V1 and 10% is going to subset V2 MongoDB. We can delete that. We can go look at the YAML and change the YAML. And again, like I said, it's all validated as well. So on to our listing views. So in our listing views, this is for applications. We can show traffic. This one isn't too interesting. Inbound and outbound metrics. So yeah, obviously we can See our inbound and outbound traffic. So on our listing views, we can see that everything's healthy, our error rates, traffic, everything's good. If we look at the traffic, we get a nice view of the traffic. Shows our traffic rate per seconds and success rate on inbound and outbound traffic. And we can also click on this view for view metrics. And that takes us to a better view. It shows us the inbound metrics. And in this inbound metrics view, we have some very powerful filters. So for instance, we can show versions. So if we want to include or exclude various versions, we can. We can show the remote versions, including or excluding those. Should probably simplify this a bit by eliminating a couple of the quantiles. And response codes. So here we just have 200s. But if there was various 500s, 400s, whatever, we can include or exclude those as well. Also, if we need a more detailed view, we can actually go to Grafana. In Grafana, we can get whatever we need as far as detailed views, queries, whatever. Also, we can expand these views if we need to see further detail. Granted, it's not the same level that we're seeing in Grafana, but we are able to sort things by various attributes. And then that takes us to traces, which give us all kinds of drill down views into our performance. And this is definitely way too deep for this overview video. There should be a separate video for this. But this is using our Jaeger integration. And then going back to our Istio config, we have all of our Istio objects that we can delve into and edit their YAML. We have validations on this YAML. virtual services. For instance, some of the rules that we can see. We have create weighted routings, matching headers, various things, suspend all traffic, deleting the rules, all kinds of things.